And I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Someone had shared that whenever there was a need, if Terry could, he'd be there because he did have a big heart. It was part of the soft side of Terry that didn't always initially come through, but he did. And we are so very grateful for all the lives that he touched, because many of them are in this room, and altogether comforting for us. Who else would like to share something?
I would.
Hi, I just wanted to say Tarek was a really good friend of my son. They were like two hearts together. Strong, like Pastor said, tough, but they had soft hearts. And he was always there to help somebody. Even when my daughter was getting married and her marriage didn't work, we were all in Cancun and they decided not to get married. I was comforting my daughter, but I guess I wasn't too comforting, because Terry came up, my daughter threw me out of the room and he stayed with her that night. But he had a heart of gold, that's all I wanted to say. Anyone else?
Thank you so much for sharing and for being a part of Tarek's life, much of his life.
And also, when my son first met your son, he came home and he said, "Mom, I'm going around with this kid. His name's Tarek something." And he said, his father's a pastor. And I'm like, oh my God. I was so scared for him to go over to your house, because they were alike. They just came out with whatever they wanted to say. And I said, "You weren't cursing or anything, right?" "No, Mom."
Yeah, we're safe. Someone else. Well, I didn't get a chance to say it upstairs, but I want to say it now. What a very blessed person Tarek and his brothers and Eva were in their mother. Pam is just such a beautiful soul who is very, in my opinion, Christ-like in her sacrificial giving, and it did translate into Tarek's life. But Pam, you have been just such a rock, and have given the unconditional love that a beautiful person is capable of, and you have demonstrated that so wonderfully. And I am grateful, and on behalf of Tarek, who isn't able to say thank you, Pam.
Hi, I'm Pastor Sarah. I'm the intern pastor here this year, and today was the first day we used our new live streaming equipment in the back of the room with the mounted cameras, and this will be the first service that will ever air, and I knew that that was important to Tarek, so we hurried up and got that done, and I want to dedicate this live stream equipment to his memory. So thank you, and thank you to the council for helping us make that happen. So later on Facebook, there'll be another version of the service with high cameras, and we get good shots of the soloists and things, and you'll see the difference between a cell phone camera and the professional camera. So this is we're dedicating the live stream equipment to your son, Tarek.
Oh, thank you. We've been hoping to be able to get up to speed ever since we redeveloped St. James, and it hasn't happened until now. And thanks to Pastor Sarah and her family, it is now a reality. We have Wi-Fi in the entire building, which is fantastic, and it's going to allow for some new programs in ministry, I hope, and of course to be able to do the best kind of live stream possible for those who want to tune in to St. James on Sundays at 10 a.m. Thank you, Pastor Sarah, for what it is that you bring to St. James. Someone else? We have people in this room that have actually been with Tarek most of his life, and I'm wondering if some of them who were childhood friends of his would please stand right now. Childhood friends of Tarek, would you raise your hand so we can see who you are? That is quite a few friends, and you know, I couldn't get over how he could remember your birthdays. He did anniversaries. When good friends of yours and his died, he remembered their anniversaries every year. The guy was always busy remembering and cheerleading his friends and what he called to me, my boys. That's you guys. And you've been a lifeline for him and a purpose, and your friendship has meant everything. Would all the rest of us please join me in thanking them? I'd like to have those of you who raised your hands, if you would come to this side of the room. I want to get a picture of you guys for our memory's sake. If you hung with Tarek years ago, please come over here and stand with me. I can't. Does anybody have my camera?
It's upstairs. I'll go grab it. He left it up in the...
Could you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. In the meantime, so you're the people that Tarek hung with, and in some cases got in trouble with. And I don't know, I don't see Lash. Did Lash leave?
They had another funeral to go to.
Okay. But Lash was saying that Tarek actually tempered you guys from doing worse things than you did. I don't know. He was something of the conscience of maybe that's a little bit over the edge. I mean, I heard some of the stories back by the Y, and I don't know if any of you hung up back in that direction. I know, Drew, you lived by the Y, and didn't you go with us to Black Island? Yeah. Back in 1991, I think it would have been, after we remodeled the main church, moved out the altar and did a lot of great things for which there were some people here that were very upset with me for doing it. But anyway, the architect that did that said, I want to take your family and I would like to host you at my summer home on Block Island in Rhode Island. And so we traveled to Newport, Rhode Island. We got on his private plane and he flew us over the Atlantic to his beautiful home on Block Island where he had boats, and this guy was just rich as sin. And
remember the cold soup? Tara would talk about that.
his wife made the best soup cold that I've ever eaten. Yes, and Drew was Tarek's invited guest. So we did have a really great few days there.
On the trip all the time.
Yeah.
Remember you rented us the scooters? So
That's right, you guys, because there was no cars, I don't think. You had to go on scooters to get around, maybe.
they had pedal bikes.
Okay.
Tarek was
Yeah.
going to sit around us the motorized scooter.
Tarek was a conniver and a little bit off the old block, but I think he beat me at his tricks. But anyway, if you want to scooch together, let's get a group shot of Tarek's best friends. In the language that I learned from Tarek about things, like don't mess with me, and he would say that to me sometimes. But there was a phrase that he had called "all that," and he used to use that phrase quite a bit, "all that," and I considered that to be a plus. Like it wasn't a bad thing; it was a good thing. Like you're all that. You're all that. And a bag of chips. Oh gosh, it is a great comfort that you guys came to Tarek's memorial, and he would be so pleased that you were here, because we are. And hopefully he is smiling from heaven to say, I guess I didn't do too bad after all. And so from our standpoint, we love him to the moon and back and believe that Jesus does too. Thank you guys so much. Please get some food, and we hope that you will stick around and visit some more.
You were asking about Mickey. He wrestled this year. He came in third in junior varsity wrestling in South Jersey. He was a Cherry Hill wrestler. Came in third. Southern Jersey.
Maybe he'll take that and go to college.
He's going to keep up. He's actually joined the gym now.
He's gonna find a picture. Thank you.
too.